Samsaradava nalalita loka Taranaya karunya kana kanatam Praptasya kalyana gunarnavasya Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nritya Gita Vaditra Madhyam Manasora Sena Romancha Kampa Shutaranga Pajo Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Shrivigrahara Dhananitya Nana Shringara Tamantiramarjanado Yutasya Bhaktam Chaniyunjatopi Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Chaturvidashi Bhagavat Prasada Sadhana Tripta Hari Bhakta Sangha Kriteva Triptim Bhadyatha Sadaiva Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Shiradhika Madhavayora Para Madhurya Lila Gunarupa Namna Patishana Swatanalolupasya Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Nikunja yuno ratikere sitai Yayari pir yuktera pesaniya Tatrati dakshadati vallabhasya Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Sashathari Trina Samasta Shastre Uttasthatha Bhaviteva Sadhihi Kintu Prabhoya Priya Eva Tasya Vande Guroshi Charanarvindam Yasya prasada bhagavat prasado Yasya prasada nagati kutopi Dhyayam suvam stasya yashasti sandhyam Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarvindam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pisthaya Bhutare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Nila Madha Radha Nila Madha Si Radhe. Jaya Radha Nila Madha Radha Nila Madha Si Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Sudarshana. Jaya Sita Ram, Jaya Lakshman Hanuman, Jaya Sita Ram, Jaya Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Lakshmi Nara Singha, Jaya Lakshmi Nara Singha, Jaya Lakshmi Nara Singha, Jaya Lakshmi Nara Singha. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jai Om Shinu Pada Brahmamsa Pajaka Chaya Shtota Shata Shishmatis Divine Grace. Aparchana Vrinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON BBTPI founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Om Shinu Pada Brahmamsa Pajaka Chaya Shtota Shata Shishmatis Divine Grace. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Premise Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrajabhumi Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Shri Purushottam Chaitra Jagannath Dham Ki Jai. Shri Ayodhya Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samarita Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Harinama Sankirtana Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Praladadayine. Hiranyakashipurvashaha. Shilatankanakalaye. Ito Narasimha Parato Narasimha. Yato yato yamitato Narasimha. Bahir Narasimho Hrudaye Narasimho. Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade. Tava Karakamalavare Nakam Adbhuta Shingam. Dalita Hiranyakasipu Tanubringam. Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare. जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। केशवद्रीता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे, जय जगदीश हरे। जय नरसिंहदेव, जय नरसिंहदेव, नरसिंहदेव जय नरसिंहदेव। जय भक्ता प्रहलाद, जय भक्ता प्रहलाद, भक्ता प्रहलाद जय भक्ता प्रहलाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल, हरि बोल, हरि बोल, निताय गौर हरि बोल। नरसिम्हादेव भगवान की, भक्त शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की।
नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः। प्रेयसी नमो नमः। राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाओ ए अभिलाषी राधा कृष्ण सेवा पाओ ए अभिलाषी है तो मारा शरण लो तारा वंश पूर्ण हो कृपा कोरी करो तारे वृंदावन वासी मोर ये अभिलाष विलास कुंज दियो वास ये अभिलाष नयने हेरिबो सदा युगल रूप राशि नयने हेरिबो सदा युगल रूप राशि निवेदन दरो सकीरानुघट करो सेवाधिकार दिए करो निज दासी दीना कृष्ण दासे को ये न मोरा हो श्री राधा गोविंदा प्रेमे सदा ये न बासी श्री राधा गोविंदा प्रेमे सदा ये न बासी यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्म हत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ते प्रदक्षिणा पादे पदे यानि कानि च पापानि ब्रह्म हत्यादिकानि च तानि तानि प्रणश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Tulasi Maharani, Jayo Tulasi Maharani, Jayo Vrinda Devi, Jayo Vrinda Devi. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Jayo Jayo Prabhupada.
I bow down before you getting here. My desire in the service to Shri Radha and Krishna. Whoever takes shelter of you has wished fulfilled. Bestow mercy upon him and make him a resident in Vrindavan. My desire also grant me residence in the precious groves of Shiva and Damnatam. Thus within my wish I shall for the peaceful concept of Radha and Krishna. I beg you to make me a part of a conversant of the Virgin. Please give me the privilege devotional service and make me own maidservant. This very fallen lowly servant of Krishna prays. May I always swim in the love of Shri Radha and Govinda. Srimati Tulsi Maharani ki jai. There are 10 fancies in the matter of chanting holy name that should be avoided, and they are as follows. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who dedicate their life for propagating holy name the Lord. 2. To consider name the demigods as Lord Shiva or Brahma to be equal to independent name Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the orders of spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature pursuant to Vedic version. 5. To consider glorious chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to holy name the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities and strength of chanting holy name. 8. To consider chanting Hare Krishna with auspicious ritual activities, offering the Veda and fruity activities, karma, ganda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about glorious holy name. 10. To not complete faith in the chanting holy names, and to maintain material attachments even after studying so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must carefully guard against these 10 offenses in order to quickly achieve desired success. Krishna Prema. Now let us offer our most humble obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord. They are just as deities who can fulfill to everyone and their full compassion for the fallen conditioned souls. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam ki jai. Jeto Darpana Marjanam Pavamahadavagni Nirvapanam Shriya Gairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavatu Jivanam Anandam Pudivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamita Swadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis tatra pita niyamita smaranena kalaha etadvishi tava kripa bhagavam mamapi durudevami disham iha janina nurakaha trinatapi sunicena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtanya sataharihi na thanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama jammani jammanishvare bhavata bhaktir haituki tavayi ayinanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam buddha kripaya tava pada pankaja sthita duri satyesham vichintaya nayanam garadashuru dharaya vadanam gadgada rudaya gira pulakai nichitam vapurkata tava nama grahane bhavishyati yuga itam nimishena chakshusha pravisha itam shunya itam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me ashrisha vapadaраtam pinnastu mam adarshanam marmahatam karotu va yatha tatha va vidathatu lampato matprana nathastu se eva na paraha Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Glory to Shri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all that does accumulate for years and extinguishes fire of conditional life, repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is prime benediction of humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and enables fully taste the nectar for which always anxious. O my Lord, your holy name alone grants all benediction to human beings. Thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out kindness enables easily approached by holy names, but I'm so unfortunate and no attraction for them. One should chant the holy name of the Lord in humble state of mind, thinking himself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more taller than the tree, devoid all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. O Son Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am an eternal servitor, yet somehow I have fallen in the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death, and place me on the Adam, the lotus feet. O my Lord, while my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name, while my voice choke up, while the hairs of my body stand end recitation of your name. O Govinda, feeling of separation, I'm causing a moment to be like a great millennium. Tears are flowing from eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. I know no one but Krishna is my Lord, and shall remain so if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord, unconditionally. Shri Chaitanya Shikshastakam Ki Jai. Shri Mangala Charna prayers ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshum Litam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manopishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Patakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savatutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Shakham Vitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Pajatya Desha Tarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daidaya Kripaptaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jala Premadaya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktita Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murteye Dina Darine Rupanuga Viruta Pasiddhanta Dwanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murteye Vipralambara Padam Pujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachitananda Namine Gaura Shakti Svarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gauravirpava Bhumestvam Nirtishta Sajana Priyaha Vaishnava Sarabhama Shri Jaganathaya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarupyascha Kripa Sindhu Pye Evacha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha Pancha Tattvatmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakham Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Srator Pangor Mamamanda Mater Gati Masarva Swapadam Bojo Radha Madana Mohano Divya Divindadana Kalpadumada Shimadra Nagara Singhasanasto Shrimad Radha Shula Govinda Devo Prishtaribi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasa Rasarambi Vamsivata Tata Sitaha Karshang Venu Saner Gopir Gopinata Shiyestunaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Panamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Dadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Mangalacharna prayers ki jai Shri Brahma Samhita ki jai Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadhyaradhya Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam Chintamani Parakara Satmasukappa Viksha Laksharviteshu Surabhi Rabhi Palayantam Lakshmi Sahasa Shatasam Brahmasevyamanam Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Venum Kvanantam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Parhavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Gandharva Koti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Alola Chandaka Lasavana Malavamshi Ranangadam Panayakeli Kalavilasam Shamam Tripanga Laditam Yatapakasham Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Angani Yasya Sakalindriya Vriddhimanti Pashanti Panti Kalayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chimmaya Satujula Vigrahasya Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Advaitam Achotam Anadi Mananta Rupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha Vedeshu Durlabam Adurlabam Atma Bhakta Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Pantastu Koti Shatavassara Sampragamyo Vayurathapi Manaso Munipangavaanam Sopyasti Yapapata Simya Vichinta Tatve Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ekopya Sarachayitum Jagadanta Kotim Yachakti Rasti Jagadanta Chayaya Dantaha Antantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Yad Bhava Bhavita Diyo Manujasta Teva Samprapya Rupa Mahima Sanayana Bhushaha Suktaryam Eva Nigama Patitai Stuvanti Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Ananda Chimmaya Rasa Patibhavitapis Tapiya Eva Jarupa Tayakalapihi Goloka Eva Nivasatya Kilatma Bhuto Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Premanjana Purusha Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hidayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundam Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Ramadi Murtishu Kalanyamena Tishtan Nanavatarama Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhava Paramapumam Yo Govindam Madi Purusham Tamaham Pajami Krishna, who is not Govinda, the Supreme Godhead, he has an eternal, blissful spiritual body. He is the origin of all. He has no other origin and the prime cause of all causes.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, the first progenitor who is tending the cow, yelling all desires in adopts bill with boats built with spiritual gems surrounding by millions of purpose trees, always saved with a great reverence and affection by hundreds of thousands of Lakshmis or Gopis.
I worship Govinda, the primeval lord, who is adept in playing on his flute with blooming eyes like lotus petals, with head decked with peacock's feather, with a figure of beauty tinged with the hue of blue clouds, and his unique loveliness charming millions of cupids.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, round whose neck is swinging a garland of flowers, beautified with the moon locket, whose two hands are adorned with the flute and jeweled ornaments, who always revels in pastimes of love, whose graceful threefold bending form of Syamasundara is eternally manifest.
I worship Govinda, the primeval lord, whose transcendental form is full of bliss, truth, substantiality, and is thus full of the most dazzling splendor. Each of the limbs of that transcendental figure possesses in himself the full-fledged functions of all the organs and eternally sees, maintains, and manifests the infinite universes, both spiritual and mundane.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who is inaccessible to the Vedas, but obtainable by pure, unalloyed devotion of the soul, who is without a second, who is not subject to decay, is without a beginning, whose form is endless, who is beginning, who is the eternal Purusha, yet he is the person possessing the beauty of blooming youth.
I worship Govinda, the primeval lord. Only the tip of the toe of whose lotus feet is approached by the yogis who aspire after the transcendental and betake themselves to pranayama by drilling the respiration, or by the jnanis who try to find out the non-differentiated Brahman by the process of elimination of the mundane extending over thousands of billions of years.
He is an undifferentiated entity, as there is no distinctions between potency and the possessor thereof. In his work of creation of millions of worlds, his potency remains inseparable. All the universes exist in him, and he is present in his fullness in every one of the atom that are scattered throughout the universe at one and the same time. Such is the primeval Lord whom I adore.
I adore the same Govinda, the primeval lord, in whose praise men who are imbued with devotion sing the mantra suktas told by the Vedas by gaining their appropriate beauty, greatness, thrones, conveyances, and ornaments.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, residing in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, resembling his own spiritual figure, the embodiment of the ecstatic potency possessed of the 64 artistic activities in the company of her confidentees, Sakis, embodiment of the extension of her bodily form, permitted and vitalized by his ever blissful spiritual rasa.
I worship Govinda, the primeval lord, who is Shamasundara Krishna himself with inconceivable innumerable attributes, with whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love.
I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who manifested himself personally as Krishna and the different avatars in the world in the form of Rama, Narasimha, Vamana, etc. as his subjective portents.
Sri Brahma Samhita ki jai. Bhagavad Gita 7.1 purport. Shrinvatam swakata Krishna punya sravana kirtanah hridayanta hi stohi abhadrani vidunoti suhritsatam nasta prayesva abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama sloke bhaktir bhavati naistiki tada rajastamo bhava kama lobha zayasche चेत एतेर अनावेदम सितम सत्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवद् भक्ति योगतः भगवत् तत्व विज्ञानम मुक्त संगस्य जायते विद्यते हृदय ग्रंथे सिद्ध्यन्ते सर्व संशयाः क्षीयन्ते च कर्माणि दृष्टा एवात्मनीश्वरे. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita is itself righteous activity, and for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, a devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes free from the modes of passion and ignorance, thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the signs of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection and enables one to come at once to the sage of Asamsayam Samagram, understanding of the Supreme Absolute Truth, Personality of Godhead. Bhagavatam 1.2.17 to 21. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee in Krishna consciousness can one understand the signs of Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'll continue reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, Text 19. Yam ahur atmano hi ardham shreyas kamasya manini yasyam swaduram adyasyam pumam sharati vijvaraha. Yam, the wife who, ahu is said, atmanaha of the body, hai thirst, ardham of, shreya welfare, kamasya of all desires, manini, O respectful one, yasyam in whom, swaduram all responsibilities, adhyasya entrusting, puman a man, charati moves, vijvaraha without anxiety. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Ki jai. O respectful one, a wife is so helpful that she is called the better half of a man's body because of her sharing in all auspicious activities. A man can move without anxiety, entrusting all responsibilities to his wife. Purport. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. By the Vedic injunction, the wife is accepted as the better half of a man's body because she is supposed to be responsible for discharging half of the duties of the husband. A family man has a responsibility to perform 5 kinds of sacrifices called Panchajajna in order to get relief from all kinds of unavoidable sinful reaction incurred in the course of his affairs. When a man becomes qualitatively like the cats and dogs, he forgets his duties in cultivating spiritual values. And thus, he accepts his wife as a sense gratifactory agency. When the wife is accepted as a sense gratifactory agency, personal beauty is the main consideration. And as soon as there is a break in personal sense gratification, there is disruption or diverse. But when husband and wife aim at spiritual advancement by mutual cooperation, there is no consideration of personal beauty or the disruption of so-called love. In the material world, there is no question of love. Marriage is actually a duty performed in mutual cooperation as directed in the authoritative scriptures for spiritual advancement. Therefore, marriage is essential in order to avoid the life of cats and dogs who are not meant for spiritual enlightenment. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, Text 20. Yam asritye driyaratin durjayan itarasramai vayam jayema helabhir Dashun Durga Pathir Yatam. Yam whom Asritya taking shelter of, Indriya senses, Aratin enemies, Durjayan difficult to conquer, Itara other than the householders, Asramai by orders of society, Vayam we, Jayema can conquer, Hilabi easily, Dasyun invading plunderers, Durgapati a fort commander, Yata as, translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As a fort commander very easily conquers invading plunderers, by taking shelter of a wife, one can conquer the senses which are unconquerable in the other social orders. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Of the 4 orders of human society, the student or brahmachari order, the householder or grihastha order, the retired or vanaprastha order, and the renounced or sannyasi order. The householder is on the safe side. The bodily senses are considered plunderers of the fort of the body. The wife is supposed to be the commander of the fort, and therefore, whenever there is an attack on the body by the senses, it is the wife who protects the body from being smashed. The sex demand is inevitable for everyone, but one who has a fixed wife is saved from the onslaught of the sense enemies. A man who possesses a good wife does not create a disturbance in society by corrupting virgin girls. Without a fixed wife, a man becomes a debauchee of the first order and is a nuisance in society. Unless he is trained brahmachari, vanaprastha or sannyasi, unless there is rigid and systematic training of the brahmachari by the expert spiritual master, and unless the student is obedient, it is sure that the so-called brahmachari will to the attack of sex. There are so many instances of fall down, even for great yogis like Vishwamitra. A grihastha is saved, however, because of his faithful wife. Sex life is the cause of material bondage, and therefore it is prohibited in 3 ashramas and is allowed only in the grihastha ashrama. The grihastha is responsible for producing first quality brahmacharis, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, Text 21. Navayam prabhavastam tvam anukartam graheshwari api ayushava krityaneyena ye chanye grandnavaha. Na, never, vayam, we, prabhavah, are able, tam, that, tvam, unto you, anukartum, do the same, graha ishwari, O Queen of the home, api, in spite of, ayusha, by duration of, va, or in the next life, kartnasyena, entire, ye, who, cha, also, anye, others, guna, grandnavaha, those who are able to appreciate qualities. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Queen of the home, we are not able to act like you, nor could we repay you for what you have done. Even if we worked for our entire life or even after death, to repay you is not possible, even for those who are admirers of personal qualities. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So much glorification of a woman by her husband indicates that he is henpecked or is talking lightly in joke. Kashyapa meant that householders living with wives enjoy the heavenly blessings of sense enjoyment and at the same time have no fear of going down to hell. The man in the renounced order of life has no wife and may be driven by sex desire to seek another woman or another's wife and thus go to hell. In other words, the so-called man of the renounced order who has left his house and wife goes to hell if he again desires sexual pleasure, knowingly or unknowingly. In that way, the householders are on the side of safety. Therefore, husbands as a class cannot repay the debt to women either in this life or in the next, even if they engage themselves in repaying the women throughout their whole lives. It is still not possible. Not all husbands are as able to appreciate the good qualities of their wife, but even though one is able to appreciate these qualities, it is still not possible to repay the debt to the wife. Such extraordinary praises by husband for his wife are certainly in the mood of joking. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, Text 22. Atapi kamam etate prajatyai karavani alam yatha mam natirochanti muhurtam pratipalaya. Ata api, even though it is not possible, kamam, the sex desire, etam, as it is, te, your, prajatyai, for the sake of children, karavani, let me do, alam, without delay, yata, as, mam, unto me, na, may not, atirochanti, reproach, muhurtam, a few seconds, pratipalaya, wait for translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Even though it is not possible to repay you, I shall satisfy your sex desire immediately for the sake of begetting children. But you must wait for only a few seconds so that others may not reproach me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The handpicked husband may not be able to repay his wife for all the benefits that he derives from her. But as for begetting children by fulfilling sexual desire, it is not at all difficult for any husband unless he is thoroughly impotent. This is a very easy task for a husband under normal conditions. In spite of Kashyapa's being very eager, he requested her to wait for a few seconds so that others might not reproach him. He explains his position as follows. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, Text 23. Esa Goratma Vela Goranam Gora Darshana Charanti Ashyam Bhutani Bhuteshu Nu Charaniha. Esha, this time, Goratamam, most horrible, Vela, period, Goranam, of the horrible, Gora Darshana, horrible looking, Charanti, move, Yasham, in which, Bhutani, ghosts, Bhuta Isha, the Lord of the ghosts, Anucharani, constant companions, ha, indeed, translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This particular time is most inauspicious because at this time the horrible looking girls and constant companions of the Lord of the ghosts are visible. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kashyapa has already told his wife Diti to wait for a while, and now he warns her that failure to consider the particular time will result in punishment from the ghosts and evil spirits who move during this time, along with their master Lord Rudra. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, Text 24. Etasyam sadvi sandhyayam Bhagavan bhuta bhavanah parito bhuta prasadde vrishneta vrishenatati tati bhurat bhutarat. Etasyam, in this period, sadvi, O chaste one, sandhyayam, at the junction of day and night, evening, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Bhuta Bhavanaha, the well-wisher of the ghostly characters, Parita, surrounded by Bhuta Prasadbihi, by ghostly companions, Vrishena, on the back of the bull carrier, Atati travels, Bhutarat, the king of the ghosts, translation by Srila Prabhupada, Ki Jai. Lord Shiva, the king of the ghosts, sitting on the back of his bull and carrier, travels at this time, accompanied by ghosts who follow him for their welfare. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Shiva or Rudra is the king of the ghosts. Ghostly characters worship Lord Shiva to be gradually guided toward a path of self realization. Mayavadi philosophers are mostly worshippers of Lord Shiva. And Sripada Sankaracharya is considered to be the incarnation of Lord Shiva for preaching godlessness to the Mayavadi philosophers. Ghosts are bereft of a physical body because of their grievously sinful acts, such as a suicide. The last resort of the ghostly characters in human society is to take shelter of suicide, either material or spiritual. Material suicide causes loss of the physical body, and the spiritual suicide causes loss of the individual identity. Mayavadi philosophers desire to lose their individuality and merge into the impersonal spiritual Brahmajyoti existence. Lord Shiva, being very kind to the ghosts, sees that although they are condemned, they get physical bodies. He places them into the wombs of the women who indulge in sexual intercourse regardless of the restrictions on time and the circumstance. Kashyapa wanted to impress this fact upon Diti so that she might wait for a while.
Text 25. Smashana chakra niladulidumra vikirna vidyota jeta kalapa Bhasmavagunta malarukma deho devastribi pashyati devaraste. Smashana, burnings, crematorium. Chakra anila, whirlwind. Dhuli, dust. Dhumra, smoky. Vikirna vidyota, thus smeared over beauty. Jeta kalapaha, bunches of matted hair. Bhashma, ashes. Avagunta, covered by. Amala, stainless. Rukma, reddish. Deha, body. Devaha, the demigod. Tribihi, with 3 eyes. Pashyati, sees. Devaraha, younger brother of the husband. The, your. Translation: Lord Shiva's body is reddish. He is unstained, but he is covered with ashes. His hair is dusty from the whirlwind dust of the burning crematorium. He is the younger brother of your husband, and he is the younger brother of your husband. He sees with his 3 eyes. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Shiva is not an ordinary living entity, nor is he in the category of Vishnu or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is far more powerful than any living entity up to the standard of Brahma. Yet, he is not on an equal level with Vishnu. Since he is almost like Lord Vishnu, Shiva can see past, present, future. One of his eyes is like the sun, another is like the moon, and his third eye, which is between his eyebrows, is like fire. He can generate fire from his middle eye, and he is able to vanquish any powerful living entity, including Brahma. Yet, he does not live pompously in a nice house, etc., nor does he possess any material properties, although he is master of the material world. He lives mostly in the crematorium, where dead bodies are burned, and the whirlwind dust of the crematorium is his bodily dress. He is unstained by material contamination. Kashyapa took him as his younger brother because the youngest sister of Diti, Kashyapa's wife, was married to Lord Shiva. The husband of one's sister is considered one's brother. By that social relationship, Lord Shiva happened to be the younger brother of Kashyapa. Kashyapa warned his wife that because Lord Shiva would see their sex indulgence, the time was not the appropriate. Diti might argue that they would enjoy sex life in a private place, but Kashyapa reminded her that Lord Shiva has three eyes called the sun, moon, and fire, and one cannot escape his vigilance any more than one can escape Vishnu. Although seen by the police, a criminal is sometimes not immediately punished. The police wait for the proper time to apprehend him. The forbidden time for sexual intercourse would be noted by Lord Shiva, and Diti would meet with proper punishment by giving birth to a child of a ghostly character or a godless impersonalist. Kashyapa foresaw this, and thus he warned his wife Diti.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 14, Text 26. Na yasya loke swajana paro va natya dhruto nota kaschid vigarya vayam vratairya charanapavidham asasmahe jam vata bhukta bhogam. Na, never. Yasya, of whom. Loke, in the world. Swajana, kinsman. Paraha, unconnected. Va, nor. Na, neither. Ati, greater. Adritaham, favorable. Na, not. Uta, or. Kasyat, anyone. Vigaryaha, criminal. Vayam, we. Vratai, by vows. Yat, whose. Charana, feet. Apavidham, rejected. Asasmahe, respectfully worship. Ajam, Mahaprasada. Bata, certainly. Bhukta Bhogam, remnants of foodstuff. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Shiva regards no one as his relative, yet there is no one who is not connected with him. He does not regard anyone as very favorable or abominable. We respectfully worship the remnants of his foodstuff, and we vow to accept what is rejected by him. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Kashyapa informed his wife that just because Lord Shiva happened to be his brother-in-law, that should not encourage her in her offense towards him. Kashyapa warned her that actually Lord Shiva is not connected with anyone. Nor is anyone his enemy. Since he is one of the three controllers of the universal affairs, he is equal to everyone. His greatness is incomparable because he is a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is said that among all the devotees of the Personality of Godhead, Lord Shiva is the greatest. Thus, the remnants of foodstuff left by him are accepted by other devotees as Mahaprasada or great spiritual foodstuff. The remnants of foodstuff offered to Lord Shiva, Lord Krishna are called prasada. But when the same prasada is eaten by a great devotee like Lord Shiva, it is called Mahaprasada. Lord Shiva is so great that he does not care for the material prosperity for which every one of us is so eager. Parvati, who is the powerful material nature personified, is under his full control as his wife, yet he does not use her even to build a residential house. He prefers to remain without shelter, and his great wife also agrees to live with him humbly. People in general worship goddess Durga, the wife of the Lord Shiva, for material prosperity, but Lord Shiva engages her in his service without material desire. He simply advises his great wife that of all kinds of worship, the worship of Vishnu is the highest. The greater than that is the worship of a great devotee or anything in relation with Vishnu.
Text 27. Yashanavadya charitam manisino Grenanti avidyapatalam bibhitvasa swavaha nirashtasam Samyatishayopi yat svayam. Vid, can you watch me reading? Can you watch me reading? Look. Pishachacharyam acharad gati satam. Vid, watch me read. Watch me read. Vid, do you want to watch me read? Yasya, whose anavadya, unimpeachable. Acharitam, character. Manisinaha, great sages. Grinanti, follow. Avidya, nasi science. Patalam, mass. Bibhitsavaha, desiring to dismantle. Nirashta, nullified. Samya, equality. Atishayaha, greatness. Api, in spite of. Yat, as. Swayam, personality. Pishacha, devil. Charyam, activities. Acharat, performed. Gatihi, destination. Satam, of the devotees of the Lord. Translation. Although no one in the material world is equal or greater than Lord Shiva, and although his unimpeachable character is followed by great souls to dismantle the massive and messy science, he nevertheless remains as if a devil to give salvation to all the devotees of the Lord. Purport. Lord Shiva's uncivilized, devilish characteristics are never abominable because he teaches that sincere devotees of the Lord how to practice detachment from material enjoyment. He is called Mahadeva, or the greatest of all demigods, and no one is equal to or greater than him in the material world. He is almost equal with Lord Vishnu. Although he always associates with Maya Durga, he is above the reactionary stage of the three modes of material nature. And although he is in charge of the devilish characters in the mode of ignorance, he is not affected by such association.
Text 28. Hasanti yasya cheritam hi durbaga swatma ratasya vidusha samihitam yairvastramalaya malya varnanulepanaihi svabhojanam swatmatayopalalitam. Hasanti, laugh at. Yasya, whose. Acharitam, activity. He, certainly. Durbagaha, the unfortunate. Swatman, in the self. Vratasya, of one engaged. Avidushaha, not knowing. Samihitam, his purpose. Yea, by whom. Vastra, clothing. Malya, garlands. Abharana, ornaments. Anu, such luxurious. Lepanai, with ointments. Swabhojanam, eatable by the dogs. Swa atmataya, as if the self. Upalalitam, fondled. Translation. Unfortunate, foolish persons, not knowing that he is engaged in his own self, laugh at him. Such foolish persons engage in maintaining the body, which is eatable by dogs, with dresses, ornaments, garlands, and ointments. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Shiva never accepts any luxurious dress, garland, ornament, or ointment, but those who are addicted to the decoration of the body, which is finally eatable by dogs, very luxuriously maintain it as a self. Such persons do not understand Lord Shiva, but they approach him for luxurious material comforts. There are two kinds of devotees of Lord Shiva. One class is the gross materialist, seeking only bodily comforts from Lord Shiva, and the other class desires to become one with him. They are mostly impersonalists and prefer to chant Shivoham, I am Shiva, or after liberation, I shall become one with Lord Shiva. In other words, the Karmis and Jnanis are generally devotees of Lord Shiva, but they do not properly understand his real purpose in life. Sometimes so called devotees of Lord Shiva imitate him in using poisonous intoxicants. Lord Shiva once swallowed an ocean of poison, and thus his throat became blue. The imitation Sivas try to follow him by indulging in poisons, and thus they are ruined. The real purpose of Lord Shiva is to serve the soul of the soul, Lord Krishna. He desires that all luxurious articles, such as nice garments, garlands, ornaments, and cosmetics, be given to Lord Krishna only. Because Krishna is the real enjoyer, he refuses to accept such luxurious items himself because they are only meant for Krishna. However, since they do not know this purpose of Lord Shiva, foolish persons either laugh at him or profitlessly try to imitate him.
Text 29. Pramadayo yadkrithasetupala yatkaranam vishvamadhyam chamaya agnakariyasya pishachakacharya aho vibhumnaschati charitam vidhim vadambanam virambaram.
No, Abhi, please continue. That's how you learn Sanskrit, Abhi. Word to word. Without word to word, you won't learn. Abhi, please do not start this. 5, 4, 3. You want it?
Brahma Adya, demigods like Brahma, Yat, whose Krita activities, Seto, religious rites, Balaha, observers, Yat, one who is, Karanam, the origin of, Vishvam, the universe, Idam, this, Cha, also, Maya, material energy, Agnakari, order, career, Yasya, whose, Pishacha, devilish, Charya, activity, oh my lord, Vibhumnaha, of the great, Charitam, character, Vidambanam, simply imitation. Translation. Demigods like Brahma also follow the religious rites observed by him. He is the controller of the material energy which causes the creation of the material world. He is great, and therefore his devilish characteristics are simply imitation. Purport. Lord Shiva is the husband of Durga, the controller of the material energy. Durga is the personified material energy, and Lord Shiva, being her husband, is the controller of the material energy. He is also the incarnation of the mode of ignorance and one of the three deities representing the Supreme Lord. As his representative, Lord Shiva is identical with the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is very great, and his renunciation of all material enjoyment is an ideal example of how one should be material unattached. One should therefore follow in his footsteps and be unattached to matter, not imitate his uncommon acts like drinking poison. Text 30. Maitreya Uvacha Saivam Samvidette Bhartra Manmatonma Tindendriya Jagrahava Brahmarsher Vrishaliva Gatatrapa. Maitreya Uvacha, Maitreya said, Sahi, evam samvidate. In spite of being informed, Bhartra by her husband, Manmata by Cupid, Anmatita being pressed, Indriya senses, Jagraha caught hold of, Vasha clothing, Brahmarishir Rishi of the great Brahmana stage, Vrishali public prostitute. Vrishali, public prostitute, Eva like Gatatrapa, without shame. Translation. Maitreya said, Diti was thus informed by her husband, but she was pressed by Cupid for sexual satisfaction. She caught hold of the clothing of the great Brahmana stage, just like a shameless public prostitute. Purport. The difference between a married wife and a public prostitute is that one is restrained in sex life by the rules and regulations of the scriptures, whereas the other is unrestricted in sex life and is conducted solely by the strong sex urge. Although very enlightened, Kashyapa, the great sage, became a victim of his prostitute wife. Such is the strong force of material energy.
Text 31. Sa viditvata bharyayas tam nirbandham vikarmani natva dishtaya rahasi tayato paviveshahi. Sa he viditva understanding atha thereupon bharyaha of the wife tam that nirbandham obstinacy vikarmani in the forbidden act Natva offering obeisances, this Taya unto worshipable fate, Rahasi in a secluded place, Taya with her, Ata thus, Upa Vivesha lay, he certainly. Translation. Understanding his wife's purpose, he was obliged to perform the forbidden act, and thus after offering his obeisances unto worshipable fate, he lay with her in a secluded place. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It appears from the talks of Kashyapa with his wife that he was a worshipper of Lord Shiva, and although he knew that Lord Shiva would not be pleased with him for such a forbidden act, he was obliged to act by his wife's desires, and thus he offered his obeisances unto fate. He knew that the child born of such untimely sexual intercourse would certainly not be a good child, but could not protect himself because he was too obligated to his wife. In a similar case, however, when Thakura Haridasa was tempted by a public prostitute at the dead of night, he avoided the allurement because of his perfection in Krishna consciousness. Yes. Consciousness, that is the difference between a Krishna conscious person and others. Kashyapa Muni was greatly learned and enlightened, and he knew all the rules and regulations of systematic life. Yet he failed to protect himself from the attack of sex desires. Thakura Haridasa was not born of a Brahmana family, nor was he himself Brahmana, yet he could protect himself from such an attack due to his being Krishna conscious. Thakura Haridasa used to chant the holy name of the Lord 300,000 times daily.
Ato parasprisya salilam ato parasprisya salilam Atopaprasya salilam prananayamyam ayamya ya vagyataha dhyayan japa virajam brahma jyoti sanattanam. Ata thereafter, upasprishya, touching or taking bath in water. Salilam, water. Pranan ayamya, practicing with chants. Vak, vyat. Oh no, I just lost the page. I lost the page. Can I have the book quickly?
Thereafter, the Brahmana took his bath in the water and controlled his speech by practicing trance, meditating on the eternal effulgence, and chanting the holy Gayatri hymns within his mouth. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. As one
has to take bath after using the toilet, so one has to wash himself with water after sexual intercourse, especially when at a forbidden time. Kashyapa Muni meditated on the impersonal Brahma Jyoti by chanting the Gayatri mantra within his mouth. When a Vedic mantra is chanted within the mouth so that only the chanter can hear, the chanting is called japa. But when such mantras are chanted loudly, it is called kirtana. The Vedic hymn Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare can be chanted both softly to oneself or loudly. Therefore, it is called the Maha Mantra or the Great Hymn. Kashyapa Muni appears to be an impersonalist, comparing his character with that of Thakura Haridasa, as referred to above. It is clear that the impersonalist is stronger in sense control than the impersonalist. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita as param drishtva nivartate. That is, one ceases to accept lower grade things when one is situated in a superior condition. One is supposed to be purified after taking bath and chanting Gayatri. But the Maha Mantra is so powerful that one can chant loudly or softly in any condition, and he is protected from all the evils of materialistic existence. Come on, I want to finish the story.
Pick the correct word here. Watcher, pick the right one. Text 35. Namo Rudraya Mahate Devayograya Midushe Shivaya Nyasta Dandaya Druta Dandaya Manyave. On which one? Text 33? No, text 33. Text 33. Ditistu vidita tena karma vadyena bharata upasangamya viprarsim adho abhyabhasata. Diti, the wife of Kashyapa, tu but, Vridita, ashamed, Thena, by that, Karma, act, Avadyena, faulty, Bharata, O son of the Bharata family, Upasangamya, going nearer to, Viprarshim, the Brahmana sage, Adah Mukhi, with her face lowered, Abhyabhasata politely said. Translation: O son of the Bharata family. Diti. After this, O son of the Bharata family. Diti after this went nearer to her husband, her face lowered because of her faulty action. She spoke as follows. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. When one is ashamed of an abominable action, one naturally becomes downfaced. Diti came to her senses after the abominable sexual intercourse with her husband. Such sexual intercourse is condemned as prostitution. In other words, sex life with one's wife is equal to prostitution if the regulations are not properly followed.
Ditiruvacha garbhamimam brahman Name garbhamimam brahman Bhutanam Rishabho vadit Rudraha patirhi bhutanam Yashya kalavamamsha amasham.
Please do not come in trouble.
Diti Uvacha, the beautiful Diti said, Na, not my garbham, pregnancy, evam, this, Brahman, O Brahmana, Bhutanam, O of all living entities, Rishabha, the noblest of all living entities, Avadit, let him kill, all living entities, Yashya, whose, Avarakam, Akaravam, I have done amasham offense. Translation: The beautiful Diti said, My dear Brahmana, kindly see that my embryo is not killed by Lord Shiva, the Lord of all living entities, because of the great offense I have committed against him. Purport: Diti was conscious of her offense and was anxious to be excused by Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva has two popular names, Rudra and Ashutosha. He is very prone to anger as well as quickly pacified. Diti knew that because of his being quickly angered, he might spoil the pregnancy she had so unlawfully achieved. But because he was also a Ashutosha, she implored her Brahmana husband to help her in pacifying Lord Shiva, for her husband was a great devotee of Lord Shiva. In other words, Lord Shiva might have been angry with Diti because she obliged her to transgress the law, but he would not refuse to her husband's prayer. Therefore, the application for excuse was submitted through her husband. She prayed to Lord Shiva as follows. 35. Namo Rudraya Mahate Deva Yoga Graya Medushe Shivaya Nyashtadandaya Dritra Dandaya Manyave Nama. All obeisances unto Rudraya. Nama. All obeisances unto Rudraya, unto the angry Lord Shiva. Mahate, unto the great Devaya, unto the demigod. Ograya, unto the ferocious. Medushe, unto the fulfiller of all material desires. Shivaya, unto the all auspicious. Nyasta Dandaya, unto the forgiving. Drita Dandaya, unto the immediate chastiser, Manyave, unto the angry. Translation. Let me offer my obeisances unto the angry Lord Shiva, who is simultaneously the very ferocious great demigod and the fulfiller of all material desires. He is all auspicious and forgiving, but his anger can immediately move him to chastise. Purport. Diti prayed for the mercy of Lord Shiva very cleverly. She prayed, the Lord can cause me to cry, but if he likes, he can also stop my crying because he is Ashutosha. He is so great that if he likes, he can immediately destroy my pregnancy. But by his mercy, he can also fulfill my desire that my pregnancy not be spoiled. Because he is all auspicious, it is not difficult for him to excuse me from being punished. Although he is now ready to punish me because I have moved his great anger, he appears like a man, but he is the Lord of all men. Text 36. Sanaha pashidatam bhamo bhagavanurva anugraha ha vyadasyapi anukapyanam shridnam devasati patihi. Patihi.
Saha he naha with us. Prasadatam, be pleased. Bhamaha, brother-in-law. Bhagavan, the personality of all opulences. Uru, very great. Anugraha, merciful. Vyadasya, of the hunter. Api, also. Anukampyanam, of the objects of the mercy. Srinam, of the woman. Devaha, the worshipable Lord. Sati Pati, the husband of Sati, the chaste. Translation. Let him be pleased with us, since he is my brother-in-law, the husband of my sister Sati. He is also the worshipable Lord of all women. He is the personality of all opulences and can show mercy towards women who are excused even by the uncivilized hunters. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Lord Shiva is the husband of Sati, one of the sisters of Diti. Diti invoked the pleasure of her sister Sati so that Sati would request her husband to excuse her. Besides that, Lord Shiva is the worshipable Lord of all women. He is naturally very kind towards women, and whom even the uncivilized hunters also show their mercy. Since Lord Shiva is himself associated with women, he knows very well their defective nature, and he might not take very seriously. He knows very well their defective nature, and he might not take very seriously Diti's unavoidable offense, which occurred due to her faulty nature. Even virgin girl is supposed to be a devotee of Lord Shiva. Diti remembered her childhood worship of Lord Shiva and begged his mercy.
Text 37. Maitreyo vacha svasagashisham lokyam asasanam pravepatim nirveta sandayani yamo bharyam mahaprajapatihi. Maitreyo vacha. The great sage Maitreya said, Svasargasya, of her own children, Ashisham, welfare, Lokayam, in the world, Asasanam, Ashasanam, desiring. Pravepatim, while trembling. Nivrita, averted from. Sandhya niyamaha, the rules and regulations of evening. Bharyam, unto the wife. Aha, said. Prajapatihi, the progenitor. Translation. Maitreya said, the great sage Kashyapa thus addressed his wife, who was trembling because of her fear that her husband was offended. She understood that he had been dissuaded from his daily duties of offering evening prayers, yet she desired the welfare of her children in the world. Kashyapa uvacha. I'm going to read the verse. Aprayatyad atmanaste doshan mauharthi kad uta mani deshati che charena devanam chati helatnet nat. Kashyapa uvacha.
Kashyapa Uvacha, the learned Brahmana Kashyapa said, Aprayatyat, because of the pollution. Aprayatyat, because of the pollution. Atmanaha, of the mind. The, your. Doshat, because of defilement. Mauhu urtikat, in terms of the movement. Uta, also. Mat, my. Nidesha, direction. Aticharena, being too neglectful. Devanam, of the demigods. Cha, also. Ati Helanath, being too pathetic. Anna will help you. Go. Can you help him, Nana? Translation. The learned Kashyapa said, because of your minds being polluted, because of defilement of the particular time, because of your negligence of my direction, and because of your being apathetic to the demigods, everything was inauspicious. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The conditions for having good progeny in society are that the husband should be disciplined in religious and regulatory principles, and the wife should be faithful to the husband. In Bhagavad Gita 7.11, it is said that sexual intercourse according to religious principle is a representation of Krishna consciousness. Before engaging in sexual intercourse, both the husband and the wife must consider their mental condition, the particular time, the husband's direction, and the obedience to the demigods. According to Vedic society, there is a suitable auspicious time for sex life, which is called the time for Garbhadana. Diti neglected all the principles of scriptural injunction, and therefore, although she was very anxious for auspicious children, she was informed that her children would not be worthy to be sons of a Brahmana. There is a clear indication here that a Brahmana's son is not always a Brahmana. Personalities like Ravana and Hiranyakasipu were actually born of Brahmanas, but they were not accepted as Brahmanas because their fathers did not follow the regulatory principles for their birth. Such children are called demons or Rakshasas. There were only one or two Rakshasas in the previous ages due to negligence of the disciplinary methods. But during the age of Kali, there is no discipline in sex life. How then can one expect good children? Certainly, unwanted children cannot be a source of happiness in society. But through the Krishna consciousness movement, they can be raised to the human standard by chanting the holy name of the Lord. That is the unique contribution of Lord Chaitanya to human society. Today we read up to Canto 3, Chapter 4, Text 38. We'll continue reading tomorrow. Gandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. We'll continue to Guru Puja. Hare Krishna.